All right, cool. Let's go ahead and kick things off. Today, we're doing a little bit of a different format. We're just going to give like a few updates on the roadmap that we've been working on so far from the agent and mini app team, maybe some updates on the agent SDK from Benny, and then really just open floor today. I think we want to keep things light, keep things going. If you guys have anything you want to share, we got Tonto back, which is great. He was mute for a few days there in the base app. But yeah, anyone that wants to share what they're working on, you can show your screen, you can just talk through it. We're here to listen and get some more feedback. So yeah, thanks for joining and we can just kick things off. So maybe Fabri, do you want to talk about the roadmap to kick things off?
Sure.
Cool. Let me share. You want me to share?
Okay. All right. Yeah. So short-term focus, what we are working right now, it's we're taking a step back again. Like we go in cycles, and we ship a lot of features, then we focus a bit in infra and quality and just bug fixing and so and so on. Like XMTP chat is now at that stage. We shipped a lot of content types. It's kind of feature complete, or at least we ship a lot of features, and now we are back again at the like quality level and trying to make XTP chat able to scale for the next 10 features. So we are right focusing on overall like state management across the app, solving some UX problems with groups or make it groups easier. Also, XMTP chat was not considering permissions sometimes when performing group actions, like it will throw errors that were not recognized. So we are like, yeah, really polishing XMTP chat and making it great. And yeah, we are also, yeah, we spot that base docs were kind of outdated. They were made at the time that we had no SDK. So we are working with Coinbase on having like more simple docs, make the docs mostly to refer to our docs, where we make base, for example, as example, we have a content type, right? So content types, we have what we call standard content types, and some of them are like the ones like reactions, replies, attack. Recently, we Coinbase launched, so the buttons that you see on Base app, this was a content type is a content type that is called inline actions. Inline actions were a content type proposed by Coinbase. So they created a proposal, then it went into an XIP, what we call, and that the XIP got approved, of course, and then they ship the feature. So it's technically you should live on base docs as it is right now. At some point, those inline actions could be adopted across the whole ecosystem, and then they become like a official standard content type of XMTP. Anyway, so the idea is that those things should definitely live on the partners or applications or, yeah, chat apps documentation. And then there is stuff that should live on the protocol side. So we're trying to make that distinction more clear. Yeah, and then we're about to ship the editing messages. That should be a cool feature, allowing us for like reasoning indicators or like thinking steps, and even more tools for local database management. So that's the current focus on. And then there is a like medium term. Are there any questions about like what I just said? It was a lot, but yeah, let me know and just interrupt me if you have a question, because yeah, just conversation. Yeah, all right. And so what's coming? It's we are trying to consolidate everything. Like there is a lot of activity on the agent side, but we are trying to bring mini apps more into chat as well. So today, like mini apps work, yeah, kind of like you can share a link and it's going to render, but we want more like deeper integrations with chat, like more rich experiences, like mini apps, for example, getting the group members of a group chat, or even like yeah, having some dynamic where the mini app is aware that is in a group and maybe, I don't know, pings one of the members, or even sends like a text inside the group chat, or even like pings its own agent and the agent. So we are trying to unblock these kind of experiences, and we are working with the teams of the apps to try to figure out, like, let's call them hooks, or ways for the mini apps to access XMTP data from the mobile SDKs, for example, group members. And yeah, that's opening the door for a lot of exploration and ideas and brainstorming we are doing. Like, then, like, if you can think of sharing a mini app in a social feed, you can also think of sharing the mini app in a group chat. So both are like social graphs. One is meant to be more like public, more meant to be for, let's say, yeah, different context, but both are like mediums where you can share these actual mini apps, which is like sharing images or share any type of content. And there are probably use cases we are seeing today, for example, prediction markets. You probably want to have a prediction market between friends that is more private, more intimate in a group chat, not in a public social feed. Yeah, so then chat becomes this medium, this other channel where devs can build for and get also distribution. And so we're trying to ease the friction, let's say, so it's easier to share mini apps in chat. It's easier to for mini apps to recognize they are in the chat, or it's even easier for creating experiences with mini apps. So like spinning up groups with a mini app game and making that super easy. So yeah, like, I think that the future is more about consolidating all these experiences. So we have like mini apps, we have agents, we have even inline actions. They are like its own thing. We are seeing developers building experiences just with inline actions with buttons. That's super exciting as well. I think buttons really are really good for certain use cases. So yeah, all everything compounds into a developer platform across like all the stacks, backend, front end, UX. So yeah, I think that we are thinking how to support that feature and keep unblocking and keep making progress in all the fronts.
Awesome. Thanks, Fabri. Anyone have any questions on that? There was a lot there. I think I saw a bunch of people just join. Carolina, Shaya. What's up, Shaya? Good to see you.
Hey, hey.
But yeah, I think we just covered a lot there.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, like, if anyone has opinions. Like, right now we are calling them, like, mini apps is like a term that captures, or at least we are using it for capturing everything. If it's an inline action, it's a mini app. If it's an agent, it's a mini app. If it's a mini app, it's a mini app. We don't have a better word for describing all of them. Maybe someone has thought about this.
That's a good question. It feels like mini app doesn't do it justice for everything.
A mini app has a signed manifest. I don't like mini app has a signed manifest, and like we should make it relate to that. I wouldn't want to call an agent a mini app. Just my personal opinion. I feel like they're different things.
Yeah.
When I ask someone for the link to the mini app, I'm expecting a mini app and a Farcaster or a mini kit provider, and on a Next.js or like whatever template. So I would be expecting a front end, and I understand if you guys want to call them the same thing, but that would just confuse the shit out of me.
Yeah, yeah. No, like, like between us, it's not the same thing, of course. Like, if we talk technically, the agent SDK, it's the agent SDK, and mini apps SDKs are. So I think that the distinction there is like super clear, but it's more like, how do we talk to the external world, to the users? And like, when we start talking to users and like, hey, yeah, you can add this agent and you can do this and that, and oh, I can share this, no, that's a mini app. And then you start like explaining what a mini app is and what inline actions are. And so when people is like not, yeah, they are not aware of the details, then it becomes really complicated to have like all these
That makes
terms, or at least
that makes
that's,
perfect
yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, to Shane's point, I think it's confusing having those like multiple places to look and find. I think there are a bunch of developers building both, right? Like I think the Builders Garden team built Squabble, which is like that mini app plus agent experience. On it, mini app plus agent experience. Ponder, mini app plus agent experience. I think that's kind of where we kind of bolted on an agent to like enhance the mini app in chat. Where I think what we've seen recently is how do we bring that mini app to life in chat and give it like agent-like features without being bolting on an agent to create that like dual experience. So I think just defining what that clearly looks like, whether it's just an app in chat or like experiences in chat, I think we'll really understand.
One of the things I was going to add was I've been playing around with Telegram and Discord's APIs as well. And the big difference being that you can kind of like edit messages in the past. One of the things that would be interesting to see would be the kind of exploding messages if you were able to do that on command to some messages. Kind of like the middle ground there is, hey, just use a mini app for something that needs to like update state and maintain state. But there'd be some other use cases where you don't want to like repost the current state and have that kind of dirty up the chat in that way. You'd want to at least explode the previous, kind of like maybe old states of something. But if you could explode messages independently of like a conversation setting, I need to look more into that feature, but that'd be something that I'd be interested in because you don't want to enable like editing messages. That seems too far.
Yeah, like you're talking about the fourth type of messaging experience. We also talk about that. Like every message could be its own app, right? And refreshes the state itself. So maybe even like like you don't need to go through the talk reply, but just the experience refreshes itself and you just interact with whatever shows you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's yeah, that's definitely that could be a different kind of stuff. I think that editing messages is definitely going to allow for some experiments there.
All
It's
right.
Bianc here.
Yeah.
Hey, Fabri.
Hey Bianc, do
So
you want to show what's going on with Alphie? I think there is a cool demo there.
Yeah, for sure.
ooh, in the alpha on Alphie. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, to share the screen, I don't think I'm
Oh, let me
enabled.
add you as a panelist.
Okay, here we go. Hi, everybody. And yeah, let's share some alpha. Entire screen, yes. Okay. So I'm working with Builders Garden, and we are experimenting with Alphie, a group chat as agent that acts like copy trading agent. So you can say, "Hey, Alfie, what can you do?" And he's going to reply that he can start tracking people on Farcaster. So, for example, what I need to send him is like a simple text specifying the user that I want to track. Maybe just do Dan Romero. And I can specify the FID or the username of the user. Using inline actions, I can confirm and or reject a user. And once these user is tracked, every time this his addresses on Farcast that he registered on Farcaster does a transaction on chain, we get notified. And the API is still on beta, so from Ninar, so it will be I will need to mock it for right now. But basically what the API does is simple notification of the data that happened behind the scene. So then I can just copy trade here from the group chat without exiting the base app or XMTP.chat, and using the send calls, I can approve and swap USDC for Zora in this example. And the network fee will be paid by Alphie using a paymaster, so the user won't need gas fees or anything. Just need to sign, and bam, it's already working. We can go to activity and see that in a bit it will update also the base. I just did this one before, so yeah, it takes a while. And I also want to share some status, because you talked about the combination of agent plus mini apps. The agent will also share a link to the group information, to the group chat, that will have a review of all the users that the group is tracking, and you can copy trade and follow the trade of a specific user and decided to buy or sell or to speculate on it. So yeah, that's Alphie, the group alpha.
That's really cool. Besides the Nanar API, what other APIs are you using?
Basically the 0x API to generate the swap call data, and the XMTP agent is running on the background. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. So that 0x is doing the swap.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Nice to see.
Let me know if you have
What was
any.
what's the API that Neinar released exactly?
Nanar is still releasing it, so that's why I mocked the API. But it's going to be released. It should be released today or tomorrow, and yeah, they're working behind the scene to do it specifically.
What are they doing to their API?
Yeah, they're introducing an API to track forecaster wallets.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Yeah, this is awesome. Some feedback would be if Alfie can take into account like size and size discrepancies. Like one user has net worth of 100K, he's swapping 1% of his portfolio into something to be able to like adjust. Because obviously, like I imagine I'm not going to be able to execute all of Dan's trades. You know what I mean? Maybe copy once and then all of a sudden you're sized out. So making it always suggest like a reasonable version of who they selected to copy that's actually executable given their network and net worth available funds would be really cool. But I love this idea, dude. I've been like half working on something similar, but that like gets sent either like through WebSocket notifications from like trading view
Yeah.
alerts, right? From like a back test, or even trying to make it general purpose first, that you could like copy trade any trading view back test strategy from a Pine script, and then also make it trading strategy AI is, I don't know if you know them, they're a cool back testing solution with like a built-in DEX executor as well, API.
Oh.
So yeah, but I love this idea, man. Congratulations, Beyond. I love it.
Hope to release it soon.
Yeah, I think this one captures what we were saying, like how would you call Alfie is an agent, it's a mini app, right? It should be discovered on the mini app store, or it should be discovered through agents. And then everything becomes challenging, but there's also like the opportunity.
How
Yeah,
close are you to finishing the mini app?
Yeah, it's kind of both.
Nice.
So you get the agent plus mini app. So cool.
Bianc, how else are you thinking about building this for like group chats? So like you add the agent or add the mini app, whatever it is. Like how are you thinking more about like the group experience?
So like having an unified place to
Yeah, just thinking of like how you're leveraging, if you think about this like in a group, right? Like where it could be like high-end traders, it could be traders that all are specific on like a creator coin that they're all looking at. It could be like, oh, I want to follow like just Dan's trades. I want to follow like human agent. in a chat. Just thinking about how you're thinking about getting users to like experience this in a group experience.
Yeah, first of all, we think about something social like interface, so anyone can use it, not only traders, and anyone can follow trades by some real user they trust. This is the main objective, and yeah, the idea is very simple, and I think this can allow discoverability inside groups easily.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay, great.
Yeah, thank you, Bing.
No problem. Thank you.
Wonder, like we were discussing this the other day, you like we are thinking about transactions B2, let's say, and how that looks in a world where, yeah, like let's say the evolution of wallet send calls, what we mean by that and what would be nice to have. So it could be anything, like even when you, for basic stuff, like you perform a transaction today and you don't really know what's going on, you need to wait for that notification that may come like, I don't know, 20 seconds later. So yeah, there is UX improvements. There are also like functionality improvements, like group transactions or different amounts for different group members, or like yeah, making multiple transactions at the same time, working on base. So we have like a backlog of ideas. I wonder, like, how do you feel about transactions in general?
I think for this specific use case, the for example, the copy trade inline action gets triggered in a group chat, but then it uses the sender address to generate the call data to make the swap and automate it. So this will need to be sent to the user direct message, and it cannot be on a group chat. It should be like a private message on a group, a private reply inside a group only for a specific user. And so this is kind of gets kind of complicated for a user to, I receive a message on a group chat, then I click, and then I get sent back on a direct message. This, I think, is the most confusing aspect from a user experience. But for a transaction point of view, I think it's pretty complete on what you can do. Yeah.
Like even there may be something with inline actions. If inline actions were able to like trigger for each user different stuff. So if you click an inline action, then it triggers the transaction for you. But if I click it, it triggers it for me.
Isn't that already how it works sometimes? Right? Like yeah, I don't see when you click a action button, I don't always see the follow-up action being sent to you in the chat. Or does it always clock? Because I've had it work both sometimes, I think, where I feel like sometimes I'm seeing them, but other times they're hidden because I have them tracked to a user. I could be wrong.
One of the things you can do is trigger off of an emoji reaction. So you could be like, hey, who wants to follow this trade? Upvote to generate your individual transaction. And so if you upvote it, that reply could either come to you personally or certainly inside the group chat for that, targeted swap suggestion. But yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, also if you use inline action, you already get a private, a user-specific generation of the transaction called data. But the main pain point was like not having like a reply in Slack that creates a new thread. Or the other pain point is that once I click the inline action, everybody in the group chat, I think all on the base app, sees that Biancate clicked the copy trade action. And so like having like a privacy mode or only me can see these type of messages could be an enhancement from a developer and user experience point of view.
What about bringing Alfie into a bunch of different group chats? Does that create? And I'm still learning about XMTP as I tinker, but does that create a new installation every time you bring your XMTP agent into a group chat?
No, only deploying it in different times would create a new installation. And depending how your like agent restarts or reboots, you can have it check for an existing installation before creating a new one or doing however.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I think that's where I got it to. My concern was, it, are there additional limitations for bringing the agent into a group chat, or is there an unlimited amount of group chats that said agent could be a part of?
I think the theoretical limit was something like approaching, was it 200K? Or is that what Nick wants to up it to? I can't remember on the like load testing, but it was up there. Fabri might remember.
Yeah, because if any of our agents get adopted by 200,000 people, that'd be good to know.
That's a great problem to have. Yeah.
Great problem to have, for sure. That is the goal, though.
Yeah, Shaya, I think Banker's active in like 20,000 DMs and groups. It's probably more now, but that was it like a month ago.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I would actually think it'd be more, but yeah.
Yeah, it's probably a lot more now.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know then.
Yeah, and even Teo built a agent that automatically adds Banker to a new group, so he's just
Yeah,
like scaling Banker on his own.
He really is. He needs to get some fee for that.
Yeah,
What's that,
he's
Eric?
working on. Teo built Grouper, so every time you make a new group, it spins up a new group. It automatically has Banker in the group.
Yeah, he
Right.
built base concierge agent.
Yeah, yeah. Shai, what are you working on these days?
I'm working on an app called Pocki. It's essentially like an on-chain wellness coach. I have Nanar API, I have Deck Screener API, I have Base Scan API. It's coming out pretty cool. It's coming along. You can
Nice.
yeah, you can ask it all kinds of cool things, social sentiment about tokens. You can analyze wallets. It gives you like a portfolio health score. Yeah, I'm making it for base batches.
Oh, awesome. Cool. Anything you want to show here or not yet?
I can show some stuff. I can
Yeah.
show
Oh, awesome.
XMTP chat.
Love it.
I'm on my desktop, so we'll have to do it in the browser, but that's cool. How do I share?
Oh, I have to promote you. 1 second.
Awesome. Oh, all right. Let's share this thing. Think here, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Just start trying with a little bit. I love the reactions to let the user know that, okay, this has been received and seen. That's pretty cool. All right. So yeah, I'm Pocki, your on-chain wellness coach. How can I assist you today? Let's see. Let's analyze my wallet. And so if I gave it a specific wallet address, it would analyze that one. If I give it a FID, it'll use the Nanar API solely and gets a pretty good read on all the tokens in someone's wallet. So like depending on what the prompt is, it'll kind of navigate what API system it needs to go through. But for the wallet analyzing stuff, it can take a few seconds. Let's give it a second here. But yeah, my thinking behind this is to help people, make smarter decisions and be less anxious about trading, help them get more of the picture of what's going on. Yeah, the audience could be full-time degens, but it also could be people that want to dip their toes in it and feel more comfortable trading. So yeah. All right, so while not much stuff in it, but let's see. Tell me about the wallet user FFID. Let's go Dan Romero. Oh, that's my wallet wrong. It's pretty good about spelling errors too, though, but just for the sake of this demo, let's make sure. So this should be able to grab all of the tokens in Dan's wallet. Tell us. But yeah, I have a lot of the components working. All the API systems are working well. Damn, Dan. 7 mil. Okay, my guy. Jeez. All right, well, this is definitely some spam token.
Yeah.
Sent it.
Time it.
But this I can believe. But anyways, yeah, and then so I can be like, I want to start trading, but sure where to begin. I don't know. I've even said it too, but let's just see what it says. I really want to train this thing to be a coach, to be, to help people just feel better about the stuff they're curious about and make intentional decisions instead of just FOMO buying and stuff like that.
Cool. Yeah, that's great. I was just testing it. I got my health score is pretty low. I need to improve my health score to 24.
That's smart. Yeah. But yeah, this is Pocki. I've been working on it for about 5 days and I'm really
Nice.
how far I got. So yeah, shout out to XMTP for really making this happen for me. My knowledge
Yeah.
of the API systems help too, but this is really tying it all together. So yeah, cheers to XMTP. And yeah, that's Pocki. I'll be excited to show you guys some more in the next few days.
Nice. Shai, did you use the new agent SDK?
Oh yes.
Shout out to Benny. Let's go.
Benny. Yeah. Yeah, once I figured out how to not have it like create, new installations every time I deployed, I was always hitting my limit. And then when you have 10 installations, it just stops replying. My solution there was to clear the database, and then I had to republish the contact bundle, which I learned about. But now
How
it
could
is
we have made that better? How could we have made that so you didn't have to do it? It would just automatically do all that.
I don't know. I mean, I took it as, I just wasn't familiar enough with the platform and the protocol and just how deployments and how things are kind of mapped and assigned. But I don't know. I don't know, Shane. Let me think about that. I may have a good answer for you there, but I'm using Replit as my coding companion. So, Replit's great where it's able to look through the logs and it can see where it's getting hung up. It could see that the handler had some issues. It could see that it kept creating new installations. So yeah, it took like two 4-hour sessions, late night sessions where everyone's asleep in my house and I'm just going, right. It took like 2 of those to really get it to where you see it now, where it's working. But yeah, maybe something in the docs that kind of calls that out. I know it does say that, but it's kind of nestled in there. Maybe just to like, if a lot of people are running into that, maybe just blast that in the docs, like, hey, if you deploy and you don't do this and that, and you can have, you'll have reach your limit and then it won't respond. Because I was kind of like, oh, surprise. But I got over it. One thing
Yeah.
that's, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Shaya, you made me think about this the other day, and although there could be like a definitive like solution on the SDK, like at least more warnings or even like error calls, but we've been trying to explain installations, and maybe it's just reframing them as local database. Like I don't think it's clear enough. Like you need a local database for your agents to work. And if you start 10 times, then you generate 10 local databases, and then you hit the limit, and then everything gets messy, and it's like a very awful state to be in. So yeah, besides like maybe it doesn't help like talk about them about in terms of installations, but it's more helpful to say like, hey, the local database is needed for you to run an agent on XMTP, and just being more upfront about that.
Yeah. And then another gotcha for me in that same vein was I found the script to revoke, and I was hoping that it would just revoke everything except for my active conversation ID, but it blew everything away. So that was another like, so maybe in the docs say something about that, or maybe the script could be reformatted to look for your active stuff and just revoke everything else. I know it's easier said than done, but that would be an ask if I could think of something to ask for.
Yeah, and it was even worse because you register your base domain, and then you got into another set of issues with that, right?
No, once I understood that I can use any wallet with the agent. And then so since I own the wallet, I could sign into base names and then, buy a base name and just make sure that's the primary. Once I understood that, that part was working good. And then learning, instead of the agent responding to everything in a group chat. So the example you saw was it does respond to everything in a one-on-one, but in a group chat, I have it so you have to tag Pocki to be able to get a response. So that was helpful. I mean, it's been a fun learning experience. Even the few frustrating moments I had, it's still been fun to build this thing. So I'm gonna call that out.
Have you built agents before, Shai? I thought you were mostly building mini apps before this,
Yeah,
right?
no, I mostly build mini apps, and yeah, I'm usually like the product guy kind of overseeing stuff, and like, I'm technical enough to get my hands dirty and get in the combo, but this is me just doing this by myself. It's been great. I mean, the docs are solid. Just a few little asks if I can pull something out of my brain to ask for, but otherwise I had everything I needed pretty much.
Awesome.
Shaya, like, do you deploy also on Replit, or do you run the agent then on Vercel or any
Yeah,
other?
yeah, I'm doing everything from Replit. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Replit's come a long way. I've used Replit, then I've left Replit, and now I came back to Replit. I'm impressed with how things are looking now and their
Mm-hmm.
capabilities now.
And if I understood correctly, you are still revoking installations to bypass the limit of 10, right?
I haven't had to yet. I'm kind of like waiting. I'm like, is it gonna break? That's why I asked about bringing it to another group chat because I was testing it. It was working fine in a group chat. I brought it into another group chat to test with some other people, and it just stopped working. And when I asked Replit why, I said, "Oh, it saw that I brought it into another group chat and like it broke the handler or it broke something." So now I'm like
Yeah.
afraid to bring it into anything. I have it working in my one dev group chat for testing, but yeah, I'd love to bring it into a bunch and show a bunch of people.
Yeah. Just a word of warning,
Yeah,
because there is the SQLite database, right, that the agent creates. Are you backing that up and are you loading that on a new deploy on a new instance? Or you still don't care about that database?
I'm not. I don't quite care about it just yet, but yeah, I will. I mean, I think I have it persisting. If that's what you're asking, I think it
Yeah,
is
like I
persisting.
was wondering if you have like if you're mounting like a
Yeah,
persistent drive, something
yeah,
like.
yeah. It did like set a direct path, and I think I got it to persist. I think if that's
Because is another limit. We have the 10 device installation limit,
Mhm.
but then there's an inbox limit. So you have an inbox that can have multiple installations, but inbox updates, such as new installations or even revoking installations, are also limited to, I think, Fabri, what was it, 256, something along the lines. And if you hit that, the problem will become even bigger. I think, Tanto, you had that, right?
Yeah, I had that. I also had a complete unique like situation of myself where I ended up revoking my actual XMTP production installation for the base app. So I had to go through lose all my messages, but amazingly my groups saved. It like had a way to re-add me to all of my groups. But for a while there, without Fabri telling me to just, hey, try just like uninstalling, reinstalling, and just resetting it up, right? You have your smart wallet, so you're not going to lose your keys. And just by doing that, I was able to like re-sign the XMTP init, re-get a new installation, and then it added all my group chats back. That process, while scary, is like probably really cool once you go through the first time, because I think it's like, oh wow, like that the portability of that inbox and like knowing all those messages are encrypted and just so it was scary, but it was awesome. Yeah.
It's scary and awesome.
Very few things in life are scary and awesome, so it's good when you do.
Yeah, man, yeah, exactly. Dude. Echoing though, a lot of like I remember you Shaya, you ranted in the chat the other day, and I have like my own moments of that because yeah, so like if you guys are working with the base team, please talk to them about me and remember XMTP off and like NFT gated group chats. That was a good idea, but if my NFTs will never get indexed and show up in the base app, then the whole flow kind of breaks. And I've been blocked on that for months, and I pivoted to other things because I never heard back. And it's frustrating. So can you guys champion that for me, please? I would love that. because I think that project has legs, but I couldn't figure out how, no one was talking about how to get the NFTs indexed. So that was a huge blocker, and that project's just sitting accumulating dust right now, but I would like to get that to production. So please talk to someone about that for me.
You got it, Tanto. Yeah, I think that there are some conversations around gated groups, like making something really native around them.
Right.
Like with full support of the apps, and that would certainly enable a lot of interesting experiences. Like think of them as native in the apps, right? Like you hit a share link, go into a group inside base, and then you have like this wall like you cannot access without this NFT, right? And maybe even a visual around it.
Rather than just an agent that's like running a allow list off of the who owns it, right? That's how I was solving the problem. But yeah, native solution would, so that was my other thing, is that, oh, this is a really smart idea. They're gonna roll their own native solution. My like prototype isn't going anywhere. Was like the other thought I had. That's why no one got back to me, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe. Either way, if yeah, please let me know if someone could follow up for me on that. I would really appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm scared to share, but if someone wants to demo lottobot.base.eth, they just pushed it live. And so it's just the spin out megapot lottery agent functionality from XMTP auth. Patrick messaged me and he was like, hey, this is awesome. Can we make it like just the lottery though? And I was like, yeah, I think that will be easier to like deploy because I was blocked by the NFT gated indexing. So that's live now. And I'm going to message Claudia to get that listed. I just need to get like I guess a logo for it because I don't have an image for it. Just a little robot face with a lottery ticket or something. I don't know. I'll use AI.
That sounds cool. How does the pot accumulate?
So
Or
it's
do you
actually, it's built with Megapot IO, which is running they have like a daily lottery for one ticket, $1 million. It's actually put up by LPs. So it's like random number generated. I think what happens is that like every day users buy tickets, and let's say like 400 tickets get pot, and then there's an LP pool that will buy the next million tickets. And then Pyth generates a random number, 1 through a million. The winner gets the liquidity prize for the $1 million. So like I think 19 people have actually won the real user $1 million prize. And yeah, so they have like an amazing API that I actually built into an SDK. So I was really excited about giving people like a programmatic incentive endpoint that they can just hit that costs 90 cents, but it provides like big upside. I thought there's like building like a mega noise where like you're tipping a lottery ticket every like on Farcaster instead of $1 or a token or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was working on that, but that's probably like a V2 of LottoBot because it's more custom. It's half built, but I just started with just strictly the agent right now, but it's live. I have it only sending the inline actions in DMs because I think it clogs the group chat. And I want people to use it in group chats because you have the like buy everyone in the chat a ticket in one transaction. I think that's a real cool use case for like how whoever's running groups to just be like, hey, every week my group's winning, on Friday I'm buying everyone in the ticket, and you can just like scale growth of your network through that tool maybe and run it however you want to. So yeah.
Are you familiar with Megapot?
That's exactly who I built the agent for.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Patrick. That's cool.
Yeah. I built, he was the one who was like, yo, he's like, I guess he tested it on XMTP auth, which was my previous agent. And he was like, oh, this is awesome. Can you spin this out into just a lottery thing? I'll send you some USDC for the deployment. And I was like, sure, I can do that for you. And now it's live. It also lets you do scheduling, which I think is awesome. So you can buy one ticket a day for a year and just sign once, and then you'll get one ticket bought a day for you using spend permissions. So I think that's like also would be my feedback of like how to make a base agent template really, really smart and really, really good is just give it the ability to like understand spend permissions and like to build the basic send flow approves as building blocks of the transaction template. So like you just kind of like that part becomes boilerplate because that's a huge custom implementation. But if it's included in agent kit, then all of a sudden everybody gets better UI UX because most agents just natively know, okay, I need to ask this user to approve $10 USDC spend permission, and then it could happen. So I think that might be cool to consider in the future.
Hunter, what's the base name? Lottobot, Lotto?
Yeah, that's correct. LOTTOBOT dot base dot ETH. I'm just like really my internet's gonna crap out if I try sharing. I have way too much local stuff running.
Has anyone thought about a subscription model for access to these agents we're building? And if so, what have you guys used or thought about?
Ooh. Like a bundle subscription to everything?
Well, like, like for Alphie and for Pocki, if we're gonna let people use this stuff, there's operating costs. We could do like how Banker does it, where you get like 10 free messages a day and then it resets after 24 hours. Or you can have a premium subscription where you have unlimited messages. So yeah, I'm just trying to get ahead of that. I know Stripe is becoming friends with Base. There's ways for like credit card people to pay, and then there's something called Superfluid, which has like auto renew, which is really nice. But yeah, just curious if anyone else has experience with that or has tackled that, because it would be
Well,
nice.
there is so today the only possible business model is fees, like Banker, like the only technically possible. We know that it's a big feature that is coming in Base is going to be spend permissions on the Base app. So basically the agent is going to, you could say like, pay me, I don't know, $10 a month, and that's going to work. And so the user is going to sign the permissions to do that, and then you can like just debit from their balance every 30 days. So that could enable subscriptions, and that should be soon. Now, how that's going to actually work, how do you see? That's why also like we were thinking like, so if you want to run automations or even a subscription, and you want a subscription on chain, of course, and if you want to be aware of the state of that subscription, then it either has to be native in a way that you can say, okay, these are my permissions, or maybe like Banker or your agent can expose a mini app, and the mini app to show like, hey, these are the permissions that you have enabled with me. And then that could be a mini app, but it could also be like a profile agents page. So that could work for subscriptions. But yeah, like it's not just, first we need to enable that technically, and then we also need to make that easy to understand.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing for someone to focus on in the near future, as us developers are building these tools and some of these start to take off. Yeah, for us to be able to afford to keep going, we're going to have to charge for the service. So I'm just trying to get ahead of that.
Two things that I had done was like previously was the creating NFT gated group chat, which is going to let them upload an image, metadata for the NFT. If they don't skip it, it'll use the group chat's metadata for the NFT and try to. So I was charging 0.001 ETH, which at the time was like $4 bucks. Like,
and you'd send them the NFT
before I deploy and create. Like, agent's going to do a bunch of things, right? It's actually going to like deploy their own contract for the group, and then the contract or the factory has like some metadata tied to the group for the tokens it produces. So it was like, but before my agent did anything, I was like, the user needs to transfer me 0.001 ETH because I'm paying gas to deploy a bunch of, I'm subsidizing gas for the future NFT mints from the factory. So I had to like try to like, I knew that I had to trigger some type of like value exchange at that initial transaction. And so my prop was just like, build it around 0.001 ETH because it's like a couple bucks and it'll scale with the price of ETH. And I was trying to that's one idea, obviously not the cleanest and not valid for everybody's use case, but It was one, and then the other one was I'm lucky that MakeAPot gives a 10 cent referral fee for every purchase. So building that into your agent as an incentive component now at least gives you every time the agent's approving one ticket buy, there's 10 cents of revenue, which is something. And then yeah, like depending on, but it gets crazy too if you're going to start sponsoring gas for your users' transactions as well, which like I know you should. The cost can get away. So yeah, that's why I was saying giving the agent some type like spend permissions is like the step towards time subscriptions with an allowance, so that making the agents more aware of that could help.
Oh yeah, I saw someone just. Oh yeah, base pay. Is that what you're showing, Benny?
Yes, yes, yeah, because they have subscription model.
I looked at base pay. Base pay is cool, and it's like the cool new thing on the block that base is pushing. But as I dug into it more, it doesn't do auto renew, which isn't the end of the world. You could have someone, if someone is inclined to pay for a year's worth of their subscription, like that this thing can work. But yeah, without sounding devious, like you really do want to lock in that auto renew. Like that's just good business. And so yeah, I'm surprised BasePay doesn't have that option. That's why I was led to Super Fluid, which boasts that as a highlighted feature. But yeah, set it and forget it. I mean, I got to comb through all of my set it and forget it. So I'm sure I'm like leaking money for subscriptions I forgot about, but I mean that's just the way of the world.
Yeah, Shaya, your next agent could be going through all your subscriptions and then the agent gets paid for anything it cancels that you don't want anymore.
Yeah, like a Rocket Money agent.
Exactly. Yeah. Cool. Well, awesome. Let's wrap there. We're a bit over time, but thanks everyone for sharing. That was a great little feedback session, kind of seeing where we're going. So we appreciate all the feedback from what we're working on the roadmap, and then happy to kind of hold space and go through what you guys are building. Feel free to drop in the chat anytime. If you want to rant on the docs, you want to give us anything, feel free to drop in the group chat, and we'll see y'all soon.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Cool. Thanks everybody.
See you guys.
Thank you all.
Yeah. Bye.